Good morning. One precious morning. Very different light this morning, especially the last 10 minutes because of the haze. Work of art every morning. Sometimes this bush is full of flower. It's Ugambilia. And now there are a few branches of flower. Maybe that's our lives as well. There are seasons, right? Seasons for flowers and seasons for fruit. Seasons when the leaves fall off. And then seasons for the fresh buds. Let's look up here because our team is up here this morning doing some filming. And thanks be to God, I really slept in. I needed to. If I was awake, I'd have gone with them. But they're up here in this area. I don't know if we can, it's zoomed into the max. But they're probably up there in front of the cave. I don't see too well. I think I can tell there are some people there. But those are our people. They left this morning after 5:30. So today Samuel is growing up. We're the third day we're looking at the story of Samuel. The focus was on his mother yesterday and the day before. And now it's on Samuel. And that's also the case of life, isn't it? The focus is on the parents, but at some point then, the child becomes an actor already, a protagonist. And in this case, it's just the budding of Samuel. His mother dropped him off at the temple when he was 3-year-old. There's a lot of background there that we wouldn't immediately perceive. And so Samuel has been growing up in the context of the temple of Shiloh, and Eli and his sons are there. It's a time actually of corruption, of worldliness of God's people. And that's what the reading today communicates. We're in chapter 3 of the first book of Samuel. He's probably a teenager, young, maybe not even a teenager yet, just a boy. And we see that wonderful account of Samuel coming to Eli and saying, "You call me." In the wee hours of the morning, Eli's very old. He can't see very well. And Eli says, "No, I didn't call you. Go back to sleep." And this happens again. And then it happens again. And you see, Eli has that experience. And he discerns what's going on. And he helps Samuel to understand that the Lord is calling him. I did not call you. The Lord is calling you. Eli understood. It's wonderful when we understand and we see a little light coming where the Lord wants us to go, what the Lord wants us to do. And this is really available for everybody. But that's a whole growth and maturity in the heart and soul. And there's also something very beautiful that the Lord can call a child. And in this case, you would say that this is all an eternal plan of God for this child. Imagine that there's an eternal plan of God over our lives. No matter who you are, there's an eternal plan of God over your lives. There's a frame around your life. And it's the frame of God's embrace, of God's love for you, God's knowledge of you. This is your dignity. This is your north, south, east, west. This is your orientation, your compass. To know that your life is absolutely in God's eyes. I heard a beautiful story when there was a young priest in St. Louis, Missouri. And he was new on assignment, newly ordained. And he's working with this elderly Monsignor. I think the Monsignor's name was Flavin, family name. An Irish name, St. Louis is a very German town, at least in its roots and its older time. And now apparently it's a town that has a lot of challenges and difficulties. Society's evolved just like in biblical times. There's times of difficulty and challenge. So the young priest goes with Monsignor into the classroom. And the Monsignor is probably like, you get the impression of a wonderful granddaddy, warm-hearted, delighted to see the little children. The children are happy to see him. And he's asking them questions about God. And I forget all the different little questions he asked them. Where is God? And God is everywhere. And does God see you? And yes, he sees us. And then he said, why does God see you? And one of the little children said, to see if I'm doing bad things. And Monsignor said, oh, no. God is looking at you because he can't take his eyes off you. He loves you so much. God is looking at you because he can't take his eyes off you. He loves you so much. Isn't that marvelous? It's like a grandparent looking at their little child. It's like the parents, the smile in their eyes when they see their little child running, walking for the first time. Grandparents can't take the eyes off their little grandchildren. Small siblings, a little older than the child, they're all around the baby. God can't take his eyes off you. And every human being has that blessing. Every single human being made in his image and likeness. And if the child is teething and has pain, the parents are all around there completely filled with concern. And they have that sharing in the pain of the child. God can't take his eyes off you because he loves you so much. I read that in an article that Cardinal Dolan wrote about human dignity, the dignity of the human person. And he told that story. He was the young priest. And then Eli tells Samuel what to do. Go back. And if the Lord called you again, say, here am I. Speak, Lord, your servant is listening. Speak, for your servant is listening. You know, that's one of the deepest, greatest realities of the scriptures. Listen. Listen. You guys are very good at that because you're listening to me every morning. You do a lot of listening. To listen to God's voice. To listen. To listen to take in his love. To listen, to notice his providence. What's God up to with this move in my life now? That's a great place for us to be in, because we didn't make ourselves. We didn't create ourselves. We have big responsibility as we develop. Speak, Lord, your servant is listening. And so we have Psalm 40. Here am I, Lord, I come to do your will. So there we have the experience of God's love for us, our listening, and our readiness to do his will. And we hear those words 3 days ago at the baptism of Jesus. This is my beloved Son, in whom I'm well pleased. This is the revelation of God's love for every single person. Here I am, Lord, I'm ready. What would you like me to do today? Whom do you need me to encourage today? Who needs your love, and I can be that reflection of your love. And then today we have Jesus responding to a need. He's over in Capernaum, and it turns out that Simon Peter's mother-in-law is sick. She has a fever. And he grasped her hand and helped her up, and the fever left her. And then she went and served like every good hostess. When you have visitors in your house and you're hosting people, she was busy serving. And then at sunset, there were so many people coming that needed to be healed. And rising very early at dawn, he's up there in the mountain praying. Somewhere, I'm not saying it's Mount Arbel. If he was in Capernaum, it's probably those mountains back over there. To be up early in the morning praying, listening like Samuel, up early, listening to God's voice. Here I am, Lord, I come to do your will. Then he's going on to the other villages, because other people need to hear too. So right now, people, Instagrammers are waiting, and I'll say goodbye. God bless you. Other people need to hear too. God bless you. God loves you very much. He can't take his eyes off you. And that's why he wants to bless you.